Oh, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Dire Bear and welcome to Falskallan Nights. I am your host, the Bard with no name. It has been quite some time. I've missed y'all. Really have. It's been over a month at this point. We all needed some well-needed breaks. Life was happening, and just it's kind of the reason why we stopped. But now that we're back, we can get right back into this. But before we do, let's get into tonight's announcements. So, Tom, take us away.
Well, thank you, JT, and thank you, Adventurer, for joining us tonight in Falskalla. That's right. The Hallowed Revolt has made it past the border of Koduria. What awaits them in the land where our game usually takes place? How soon will Shiren learn that Diamondback is the prisoner she's here to rescue? And is the much hyped up ship of Howard and Halsterian finally going to become canon? Well, you need one hell of an insight check to find the answers to that. Thankfully, you can crank up the numbers on your wisdom stat with our first sponsor, D&D Beyond. Their platform allows us to keep all our campaign info and character sheets in one handy place. They've got expandable notes sections, every source book or character species you could name, and an automatic character creation tool that takes a lot of the finicky math and page turning out of the starting process. No longer do you have to keep flipping back to that one page in the player's handbook to remind yourself for the 73rd time in as many games which stat numbers correspond with which modifier. Just enter what you rolled, select your proficiencies, and grin wickedly as your DM shakes their head at how broken your performance bonus is. Thank you, D&D Beyond, for sponsoring us and our min-maxing bullshit. Of course, there's nothing min and everything max about our next sponsor. FX May Vary. They are a genre hoppin', hard rockin', dice rollin' band of magnificent musicians from Newmarket, Ontario, who, along with keeping this company afloat, also wrote and performed the wonderful theme song you hear at the end of every Dire Bear stream. They balance toe tapping tunes with mental health advocacy, and two of their esteemed number are even on one of our D&D shows. You can check them out on YouTube, Spotify, just about anywhere where music is streamed. You can also reach out to them on Facebook and Instagram. Their music is designed to be enjoyed by everyone. Side effects may include feelings of happiness, an impulsive desire to move rhythmically, a drive to share with others, and a compulsion to follow the band on social media. As always, though, individual effects may vary. But the ranks of Dire Bear sponsors are not limited only to official D&D websites and amazing indie rock bands. If you so choose, yes, you, dear viewer, can join the rarefied air of Dire Bear supporters. How, you might ask? By joining us on Patreon and perusing the wonderful rewards available to you. You can get Discord privileges, merch, mentions at the end of our stream on Wednesday nights. That still means you get a patented Diamondback parody song. The bard may be in jail, but the pipe your loins. There's even a tier that gives you access to monthly voice acting lessons with me, geared towards RPGs. So, if you've ever been looking for the perfect voice for your rough and tumble rogue, your upstanding paladin, or your goblin who's just the ultimate embodiment of chaotic neutral, hop on over to patreon.com/direbearac and become part of the magic. While you're at it, why not wear your Dire Bear love on your sleeve? Or on your legs? Or on your most of you? Hit up the Dire Bear merch store on Streamlabs and find some roaring great merchandise for all your nerdy needs. We've got t-shirts, we've got hoodies, we've got sweatpants, and thanks to Alyssa, a single pair of hashtag Daddy Diamondback hot pants does exist. Dear God, you do not want to know what we're dreaming up for Mommy Shiren. And of course, we still have Dire Bear's tried, tested, and tremendous Pride merch, including the Beyond Alignment line of tank tops and t shirts, with variants that include the non binary, trans, and BLM Pride colors. They're a great reminder that human rights are a year round battle, so slap on some highly inclusive geek chic and let them know that nothing attracts bears like Dire Bear. JT, back over to you.
Uh, Normally, this would be the time that I would say, let's get into tonight's session of Falskallan Nights, but we got to start with the Hallowed Revolt. So, that being said, let's go jump into the Hallowed Revolt. You guys have been traveling for about a week further now. You've been healed up, still on edge after being attacked by a courier. And some of you almost having your asses rocked. Well, I said courier. Courier. But that being said, it is still it is still winter time, and it is not getting any warmer per se. Going further into going into the Onverian Way, which is the main road heading to Onver, you pass a couple of caravans back and forth, meeting up with a lovely couple with a nice cart that decided to take you guys along to further speed up the travel to Onver. Eventually, you make it to to the eastern garrison. If I was smart, I would have brought my my maps out with me so I could have figured out where I'm logically at. Also, all the placeholder names. Actually, once memento. Just go through the stack of giant papers and figure out where everything is.
Behold the book of geography.
Place names give everything. Yeah, place names really do help. Because if you don't have your shit together, we honestly just don't have our shit together. There's words here. Quick, Steve, make a joke. You're muted.
That's the joke.
We're back, people.
That wasn't me.
Well, that's in both worlds, I suppose.
Yep.
Because that joke I said wasn't actually funny, so.
I know. It would have been funny. That being said, you guys actually not the East Garrison. It's the Western Garrison. The East Gate is the other one that I was thinking of. You come in, and the East Gate isn't actually as guarded. Jesus Christ, Steve, why do you gotta tag me in that?
You asked.
That's not what I want. But for those who don't know, I asked for WD-40, and Steve posted a can of WD-40 that's cracked like a can of Coke.
Wow.
Yeah.
You mean you're not supposed to drink that shit?
Well, your insides must be friggin' clean.
Thing just slides through.
Knowing where you guys are going, I'm trying to remember if I actually did tell you the direction you're going, but you're going anyway. you eventually make yourselves in Shiren. You've been here before. Onver, at least the western part of the city, is just basically a giant cobbled mash of roads that have kind of just been smattered together, where it's all your classic old style brick timber buildings with brick inlay, stucco on inside, windows put in. So you've got best insulation, kind of the best insulation value for what you have at the moment. And it's all just roads that kind of shoot off and join and converge in different ways, spoke style layout that leads into more of a grid pattern. It's an absolute chaotic mess. But you've been here before, more or less kind of in your youth, whenever you decided to go out and just see the world, do youthful traveling as a young Chris. What you're high end royalty, right? So that at that point
Yeah.
it's like aristocratic. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm very
Well,
rusty at this.
Oh yeah, it's a nice little spot. I stayed here about what was it, 50 years ago when I was on a backpacking trip.
Everyone would go out.
Old trips, backpacking trips.
Well, yeah, but I mean, look, people from my side of the Money Divide don't really know that, and they really could stand to learn.
What do you bring if you don't bring a backpack? Doesn't make any sense, brother.
Guards,
Sister.
carriages, dresses.
I'm like you're going to mention someone's trying to bring a grandfather clock.
Well, this one girl I knew in finishing school. Let's not get into that.
Terrifying.
Okay, so it's funny because my headcanon is like every trip is a backpack trip, except for Yimmer. I feel like he'd have just like a little satchel of mushrooms and like a replacement underpants, and he'd just go.
Jump in the water whenever he needs to.
Which is rare enough as it was.
Yep.
The dust keeps me clean. He's like a chinchilla.
Yeah.
I fucking missed this.
There we go.
You were told to head to the guild office, and you had Chiron, having explored Onver, the poorer side and the richer side, being able to afford to go into the richer side. You'd have passed the guild hall, and since it would have been clearly marked, so it would take you a little bit of time, but around noon, but around lunchtime, noon o'clock, you eventually make it to the large, almost estate building that has been reverted into the guild hall. Beautiful 3-story brick building lined with cedar and pine trees alternating. Nice wrought iron gate fence that surrounds the perimeter of property. Eventually leading on the main road to the main gate, which you walk yourself onto the premises and the grounds. It is still, it's still snow onto the ground, so the pathways have been nicely shoveled out, and it seems like somebody had taken the time to use at least some sort of like a fire style cantrip to clear off the cobblestones to make it a little more presentable. But it has been lightly snowing, and everything has just got that nice little dapple of snow that's just covering it off. And even if you like just breathe on it a little bit, it just puffs away. Heading up into the main double doors, you see a basically like a poster pinned right to the wall, right to it, and all it says is, it is the guild hall's set of rules with a bunch of rules on it. Fights are only allowed in the pit. Stealing will be an automatic expulsion. Treat each other with respect. Any sort of magic that is harmful or could create more harm than good will be dealt with promptly and harshly. Damaged property comes out of your pocket, not ours. And then handwritten at the bottom in like almost just like this really brutish handwriting, it's just, Libertia is law. Do not cross her in fear of death.
Well, shit. All right, best behavior, everybody. These guys got rules.
The doors are closed at the moment, so I assume you either knock or you walk in. I don't know.
After looking at the rules, I figured the safe option is to knock politely.
Yeah. You couple hearty knocks. 1 moment passed. 2 moment passes. You hear a nice belch from behind the wall. the door creaks open. You see this white-maned Lionel. I actually don't remember the name. Leonin, not
Zeus.
Lionel. I've been playing
Oh.
fucking Breath of the Wild way too much. White-maned Leonin, very tall. Like, you're tall, but this guy stands right over you and opens up. Well, you guys look cold. Come on in. What who are you guys? As the door opens up and it opens into this nice, beautiful foyer area that has a set of stairs running up almost a side, a hallway going right in front of you, and hallways that are leading left and right. More hallways left and right, but you also see an open courtyard just out into the far back corner. And what you're hearing is a giant commotion going on at this moment. The Leonin opens the door, invites you in, and he's like, "Well, you guys look like you're looking for a job or something. You come to the guild. Welcome. I don't know if I've met you before. My name is Exus. What's your names?"
Oh, well, I haven't been around these parts recently myself. My name's Shiren. This is my crew. We've got names of people that I've created that I'm now forgetting. Got
Shiren.
Dolly and Val, Warwick, Erie, and Reedon.
Good day.
Hello.
Yeah.
Judging from
We're,
your accent, you must be Kodurian.
Oh, was it that obvious? I didn't want to come across like a hick.
Hick. You get me? That's a royalty accent right there.
Well, I've heard in some places we come across as a little uneducated.
That's accurate, but that's okay.
Yeah. Well,
Is
yeah,
there anything I can help you with? As he says these words, all you hear in the background, "Brady, get those damn crabs over here!" No! You see her run across one of the hallways with a bunch of crabs in hands. You see Libertia, it's just this giant rotund woman with a poncho, crew cut hairstyle, just a giant pipe hanging down, just walking.
that'd be Libertia, I take it.
Oh yeah, that'd be her. She's been on a mission. One of our teams had left a bunch of crabs in their room, and well, we've been trying to deal with it.
All right.
Did you say a bunch of crabs?
Yeah, I don't know where they got it from, but safe to say, when we opened the room for general cleaning and maintenance, they all started running everywhere. Libergia has been having a conniption. It's been kind of funny on our part, but Bryony, bless her sweetheart, she's trying to save them as much as she can.
So does one party or the other need help, or is it best just to let things go as they're going?
Let's just let nature take its let nature do its thing here. I've chosen not to get involved with this, and rightfully so. If I see a crab, I just kind of shoo it along.
All right, well, keep our eyes open.
You see Bryony run the other direction, far along the back hallway, and Libertia following suit. Then all you hear is, "Bryony, you put that thing down. Don't you dare turn around. Put those vines away." And you hear vines just growing and pushing Libertia out. Bryony!
So, y'all got drinks?
We got lots. Come to the mess hall. We'll introduce you to the rest.
Thank you kindly. Like to meet whoever's got the crabs. Yes, I realize how that sentence sounded. That was intentional.
Don't think they'll go away.
Not those kind of crabs, Dolly.
By the looks of it, these kind don't go away either.
Yeah. So he leads you through. So Exos leads you through into the mess hall, and it seems to be very. There's not a lot of people around at this point in time. It's seemingly maybe a downtime for people in the guild hall, or everybody who's been there might have been contracted out. You're not too sure. That being the case, you're brought in and you see what looks to be like another Leonin male, smaller, bunch of scarring all over his face, and wearing some leather armor. A tabaxi female, uh, black, slender, piercing green eyes, and then another tabaxi male who's wearing this beautifully ornate plated armor. Is Exos Legion? Hello there. Come. Sorry, that's Barak. Holy shit. Oh!
I mean, I'm okay with Barks there.
Nah. Exos calls up. Hey, Legions. Zagus, Lucky, Mello. Meet some new travelers that we just met. Let's treat them kindly. And they all turn around, stand up, and they meet you all individually. The introductions go swiftly and quickly, and food starts coming out. And at this point, it's more or less just bread and butter with a bit of greens. It may have been seemed that the crabs were probably going to be the ones that were going to get cooked, but haven't been successfully wrangled yet. Mainly due to one source of interference.
Well, if it's got carbs and warmth, I'll take it. No worries there.
Don't worry about it. We'll get some ale. So I have to ask, what are y'all doing here?
Well, we're looking for work. Heard the guild hall was a fine place to find it for folk like us, and matter of fact, had a contact on this side of the border that asked to meet us here. So,
Oh,
yeah.
Contact. What did they give a name?
One of those folks I met back in my days backpacking here. I can't really recall off the top of my head. Lost their letter, it seems.
So
Don't worry, sugar.
Hmm?
So don't worry, sugar. It's all above board.
I kind of figured it was. So I guess you're just waiting then.
Yep.
It's at this point, Bryony comes in with a bunch of crabs just crawling all over her. She's got what looks to be like tangled roots just covering her body, just so that she can have them kind of held in one spot. Point just shuts door. I gotta run. Exos, hide me. It's like, I'm not touching anything here. And he just the door swing open. Bryony, give those damn crabs back to me. Brian just turns around. No! Runs around Exus. Libertia just goes up to Exus. Give me back Bryony. It's like, I'm not even hiding her. What the hell? My hands are up. Which then Libertia just grabs Exus, picks him up, throws him, like, not even throws him, just places him to the side. And I mean full on, like, two meaty hands, meets the hips, whoop, doosh. Puts him to the side. At this point, You've never seen a Leonin before, and you've never seen the mannerisms of somebody so prideful. You've also never seen a Leonin look as if he just got his shit rocked by being picked up. It's very much the same, like when a cat gets scolded, she's just uh, Lupercio comes up, goes up to Bryony, starts going for one of the crabs. Bryony just slaps her hand away. These are precious creatures. I'm not going to let you eat them. Turns around, runs away. She goes to grab. She notices you guys. Like, who the fuck let you in? Who the hell are you? It's at this point, Bryony slips away as she's got her eyes just dead staring at all you. Just
well, in order of asking, points to the Leonin. He let us in after we knocked. Go through all the character introductions again.
Mm.
And we're here to meet a contact. Someone who I understand has connections with this guild. Just hopped across the border from Koduria.
okay. And you have a name?
Like I just gave y'all our name. I'm Shiren.
No,
Val.
name of the contact.
In truth, I don't.
So you're telling me you have a contact without a name that gave you the directions to come here?
What can I say? Work's scarce on the other side these days.
Just takes your long ass pipe. A billow of smoke just comes out and almost like a dragon's breath. Just let me check the ledger. Just walks away. And just leaves you alone in the mess hall with the rest of the people.
Is she always that scary?
This is the worst day I've seen her. Way. She's normally quite stern, but this is a time where I think she finally met her match with somebody saying no and stood up against her.
Well, little gal's got spirit. I'll give her that.
She's the only one who seems to have her good side. Well, I'm gonna grab you guys some ale, sit down. I'll be right back. And he kind of just slinks away back into the kitchen.
He's just like, that just happened.
Yeah. Well, I think we're gonna have fun here. How's everybody feeling?
Are you talking to your group or are you talking to
I'm talking to the revolt.
Woo.
I think we're definitely in need of some ale after all that.
Yeah. Match her against that courier. Who do you think come out on top?
Curry wouldn't have a chance. No way we can convince the young lass that animals eating each other is part of the circle of life. You know, 7 or 8 will still be fine. There's as many as I keep hearing there are. Oh,
I mean, if you want to try and convince her, you certainly could. I don't know, maybe they belong to somebody. Who would keep that many as pets? I have no idea.
you think they're merchants? Crustacean merchants exist, I'm sure.
Yeah, maybe. Long way from the coast, though, if I've got my geography right.
You do.
Yay.
They have to sell their merchandise somewhere.
Yeah.
The crabs selling merchants? I mean, they're tiny. They can't carry anything.
I'm not talking about having them carried. I'm talking about selling to people for them to eat.
Oh, I thought you were saying that the crabs were little merchants.
Oh, goodness, no. The people keeping the crabs. They're the merchants.
well, then that's really bad for business to let them just crawl around.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Very sanitary.
Free.
Yeah.
If you're saying that this is somebody's belongings, just to let them go around willy nilly, I would hate to see what their abode looks like.
Yeah. I turned to one of the other adventurers in the hall. Who, which crew brought the crabs in?
That would be Team Them. You should see Lucky, the black tabaxi female. They seem to create more chaos than a lot of the groups around here, but that's okay.
No kidding.
Them. Them?
Damn.
Name.
It's beyond me why they chose that name, but that is okay.
Yeah. I don't know where he's here.
Curious bunch of folks then.
Yeah.
Love to meet them. Meet
Yes.
them.
Zegas quickly steps in. Yeah, we don't know where they are at this point. They just kind of up and left, but I think a lot of the Onverian politicians wanted something with them, and we haven't seen them in a while, so at this point they might be out on a mission.
Politicians.
Do you know who's part of that group? Maybe we will recognize them or like their name. Maybe we'll run into them. Maybe they'll return.
Maybe they'll return, but it's okay. Well, they'll come.
How
They'll
long
come
have they
eventually.
been gone?
Oh, I honestly don't remember.
Sounds like they got a reputation for them to be the most chaotic group.
I mean, we did fight them for the initiation, so
Mm.
Oh,
Sorry, y'all got to fight people to get initiated in here?
officialized groups get fought with the other groups.
Hmm.
It's how we do things to ensure that it's a little bit of camaraderie.
Yeah.
okay. Well, what if someone that wants to join, that combat is just not their forte? You can always have skills in other things. Doesn't always have to be with the fisticuffs.
No,
Maybe a battle of the brains.
if you were good with your brain, you could still use it in battle.
I could still use my what? Sorry, I have bad hearing from a lot of explosions.
I forgot what I said.
That happens to me too, honey. That shows that you are a smart person. You have a lot on your mind, okay? That's
That
all
being-
right. I
That being
mean,
said, yeah, I
she's
know who the
coming.
fuck you are. Yeah, I know who you're looking for. Give him about half a day, he'll show up.
All right then. We got to fight anybody in that time, or okay,
What?
just to
Are
No,
we fighting?
you're not part of the guild. You're just here as a liaison.
Okay.
well, there we are.
All right.
Sorry if I seemed a little dodgy earlier. I didn't know exactly how widely known our purpose here was, and
Well, it isn't. So, just stop right there.
oh yeah.
Like I said, half a day. She turns around, walks away, opens a set of doors. They just, because she opened them up with such a force. She even threatened the doors to close.
So does she like go out and fight stuff, or
She seems like she's about to fly off the handle.
did
You
come
just,
across a bit crabby?
I
Oh,
mean, ha!
that was a
I'm
low
about to say
blow.
she's madder than a wet hen. Have you seen them? They love crabs.
Oh, I thought you were going to say love being wet. No.
No, she's madder than a wet hen. They don't like being wet. They get mad. Madder. Have you seen a chicken when it's wet? Look like some sort of imp out of hell.
Oh, hey, you're lucky.
Mm-mm-mm.
it's at this,
I have the
you see
impression that-
Bryony's head just pop up out from underneath one of the tables.
Well, hi, sunshine. What are you doing down there?
Oh, I'm just hiding.
Hiding. What you hiding from?
The birch. It's because of these, and the crabs are still like not embedded into like the thatched armor that she had self weaved herself, just impromptu, pretty much.
Uh,
It's like a bad Disney animatronic, just.
Are they yours? Are you the?
I promise I'd look after them, and I know that one person, the spleen, she wouldn't like that if anybody dealt with them. So I just wanted to look after them.
Okay. All right. Then
And I mean, if I knew if she
do
found
that.
out that Libertia tried to go after them, it would be a bigger explosion of anger and fury. So at that
Oh,
point, I
right.
just I figure I'd stop it.
Okay. I like somebody that's a peacekeeper. I mean, that means you're pretty well rounded around here. You're a lot of people's favorites, aren't you?
Not really. I'd like to think of myself as respectable.
Okay, that's all right. You may think you're not the favorite of a lot of people, but I bet a lot of people argue against that and think otherwise.
All I need to be is favorite of one person. She kind of just does a little giggly swill.
Hmm.
Oh, got some tea to spill.
That's none of your business. That's mine. And
Fair enough.
kind of blushing at this point. Do you guys have cages? We need to put these things somewhere. Just one kind of pinches her neck. You see her eyes just flash green for a second.
What hell's that over there? Hold on, honey.
Well, I have a boat. It's not really a cage, though.
I might
Folding
have
one.
something. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm.
Dolly, where the hell have you been keeping a boat?
Backpack.
Damn, you're right. Reading they are useful.
Magic can be scary sometimes, but it can also be incredibly useful.
I go and I look at my robe of useful items and I pull off a sack. You can throw them in.
That's probably not gonna help, but you know what? At this point, she kind of just puts her shoulder closer to the bag and just unthatches it, manually unthatches it, and pushes the crab out. Just systematically does both of these.
It's just a regular sack. It's not my bag of holding, so don't worry.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll find a container for these. At this point, she
Maybe
now that
try
she has all the
pot.
crabs rounded up, she just goes right off. Exus, yeah, she's a sweetheart. Means well.
Mm-hmm.
Can't ask any more than trying your best.
So,
So at this point, you guys are gonna be sticking around for a while, then.
So it seems. At least
Unless
another
one of
half a
you
day.
fine folk is going to give us a tour. But I don't really know the use of that.
I
Something
thought
to
Reading
do.
would be busting his britches to go see if he can get a fight in.
Would be funny.
Just to kill some time.
Mm.
I mean, it's to build friendships and whatnot. What do they say? Comrades, camaraderie. Might as well
Constitutional.
build bonds somehow.
Right.
Reading, why don't you go find somebody to beat up? In a fair fight. Consent as well.
Does Matt know who
Spark.
he's reading?
Reading, were you in your headspace again? You didn't hear anything I said. That's okay, honey. You just sit there.
I was just thinking
Go
about that
back.
horse we left on the road. There was so much meat. I know you said I shouldn't eat it, but there was so much meat.
Oh my gosh. You're still with that horse? Do
Well, I'm
not.
not. That's the problem. I wanted to be with the
Oh
horse. I wanted it in my belly. All that protein.
Well, we're in
Anyways,
the food
what?
hall. Maybe you can go find something to eat then. Since you're not going to listen to anything I say, read and get out of here. I feel like I'm talking to one of my family members. Like, this has come so natural. Jesus. Yeah, North Carolina, this is how we speak.
So the fact that you're just so unaware that we were talking to you.
Amazing.
You're
Just a
just
quick
like,
snap
Regan,
of
do you want to do
realization.
something?
It's just the.
It's like, Matt, do you know you're reading?
Whoa.
Like, I know you're sick, buddy.
Ugh.
But that shit was funny. Oh, buddy.
When nobody remembers which character they are.
Yes.
Hey, if I
Blame it on
didn't have
me.
a printed name, I would have completely. If I didn't print out the names, I would have completely forgotten.
If they weren't
myself.
right here, I legit
Oh,
thought Shira's name started with an E for some
Yeah.
reason.
I'm looking at them all on Twitch.
I'm like, ew, Lona.
Listen, we played 3 sessions with these characters
Yeah.
I know.
a month
off.
ago.
Which I thought, we were gonna immediately go into this fourth little episode.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out that's not the right thing.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
All right, now Erie, you give reading some space there. I mean, look, I know this trip hasn't exactly been as fun as we all wanted it to be. Involved a little more spilling of blood than we wanted.
It was just the one.
I was talking about ours.
All
That's
right.
Regan's problem.
I mean, I'm not one to go straight to violence, but I'm a little bit bored. Been a lot of traveling. I just want a little bit of excitement, other than like someone trying to assassinate us. Not that type of excitement.
It would be a nice
You
change
know.
of pace.
I like to. I don't know.
Well, do you want to beat somebody up with magic?
Oh, Sharon, you know that's not a great idea. You know what I hold, my little bag of tricks.
Oh, yes, indeed. I'm more worried about your workstation.
I don't think we want to
Oh, my
blow this place
workstation will
up.
be just fine. It's this building as a whole.
Sorry, Warwick. I think we talked over you.
No, it's okay. I was just saying I don't think we want to blow this place up.
Exactly. Warwick gets it. I mean, they've witnessed a lot of my masterwork.
I like it when you're quiet.
Well, should we take a lay of the land and see if we can find places that we want to blow up?
I don't think we're fighting anybody here just yet, but I mean, if opportunity presents.
Well, we
Contact
have
is
the
a half
time.
day away. Let's just chill. And actually have time to do nothing.
Which is at this point, we're gonna
Like,
skip the time ahead a little bit.
I was about to say, like, honey, I can't just sit still. I have a never-ending cup of coffee.
Forgot about
Who do you
that.
think you're talking to?
You go, I'll stay.
So, did you hear about this new series about a dragon?
Oh my god.
The author is just amazing. I cried at the last page.
Me too, honey. Me too. Oh, and Malistair thought I was having like a crisis.
Well,
And
you
then when
were.
he found out it was just a book, he was even more concerned.
You're bonding over a book right now?
I'm a
I
dick.
didn't know you could read.
I mean, she's the smartest person in the entire party.
Oh. Hold it. Is it because I'm a woman? You're
Me.
I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. The time passes very slowly. You get fed a couple cups of ale. You have a good conversation with the Leopard Legion. A couple more people come in, but it seems to be like a very quiet time for the guild ball.
Mhm.
Eventually, Libergia comes in with what looks to be like this really shaggy older man. Doesn't look like they've been really kept for a while, after a while. And it just looks really, well, dirty, dusty, and gross. Libergia. All right, the rest of you, out. The Leopard Legion and everybody else who was in there immediately stands up. Walks in. Not you, Hallowed Revolt. Sit.
All right.
I will leave you to it. She shuts the doors behind you as the visage of this old man shimmers back into a calico tabaxi.
Well, howdy there, partner. Been a while.
I'm sorry, I'm late. I did not mean to keep you waiting. I'm happy that you've shown up and that you are alive.
Yeah, happy to say the same for you. Hope you didn't have any trouble getting out of there. We might have screwed the pooch a bit on getting those orders. Forgot to dispel the seal on the carrying case. Thankfully, that courier ain't going to be telling anybody anything anytime soon, nor will his body.
That's good. Honestly, when I saw a royal charger of Coteria splattered all over the ground.
Well,
Actually,
we
no,
did
you dealt with the horse corpse, didn't you? I'm trying to remember if you did or didn't.
I know we put the guy in the mountain.
Yes, I remember that, but the horse was the other.
I think we did something with it. I just don't remember what.
It's been a
Reader
month.
wanted to eat
Yeah, I
it.
don't recall.
Yeah, someone
I
wanted
was
to
gonna
eat
say
it.
maybe
I
Reed
don't
did
remember
eat
what
it.
we
Yeah.
did.
Well, I think at this point, the fact that the horse was basically exploded, there's
Yeah.
bits of everything everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry about that. I guess we missed a spot.
I'm just really good at finding and observing. Don't worry about it. That being the case, my boss would like to see you.
Very well.
I don't mean to do things convolutedly, but we are not under watch, but I'd rather be careful just in case that we are.
Of course.
Does
Lead
that
the
make
way.
sense?
Yeah.
Good. Then follow me.
All right.
Which at this point, he tips his very large brimmed hat, just tips it down, and you see the visage shape back into the old man.
I gotta learn how to do that.
You see, this is how you do everything. He steps out of the door, and his voice completely changed. Mannerisms and everything. You kind of get the reason why he's really good at being a spy.
Mhm.
The moon is everywhere. It gives you all the powers, everything. And he keeps rambling on as you guys are like pushing him out the door.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, sir. Okay, we're gonna get you back to the old folks' home now.
Which at that point you guys step out and kind of steps in. Ah, I find that the reliquary is a really nice place. And he just kind of stumbles, kind of does like the Mad Hatter, like looking little toe tap, just and kind of wanders his way out to the bar. The reliquary being one of the first established taverns in the west end of Onver. You get you guys as the Falskallan troop have been there before, very early on. So you follow the old man eventually into the tavern, and he walks you upstairs. You guys follow suit, and eventually lead into a large, very like it's more or less a private suite,
Hmm.
large enough to fit all of you guys. And you see one other person there, a female, almost just as disheveled as the old man. And at that point, you shut the door. Dante undisguises himself, and he goes over to the door and places a seal over top of it. Takes like a little scroll out, plasters it on the door, and you see the door just magically seal itself. Which at that point, you see Silent Ivory's form shape and emerge. Still very much. It seems like for a shapeshifter, this is a more natural like visage for him. The fact that it still comes up as like a covered mask, piercing blue eyes, very almost like white linen cloth kind of covering all over.
Well, pleased to meet you,
Gosh,
partner.
I want to thank you for coming, especially at short notice. I know that we've given you a very hefty reward for this.
Um, Well, we're happy to help, especially considering, as I understand it, there's somebody in great need that's going to be our, I guess, package, target,
Package.
rescuee.
package. He hasn't been captured yet. Unfortunately, we are under the suspicion that we're being dealt bad faith, and we're going to give up one of ours as our own.
All right. That's a hell of a gamble. Was Dante here able to pass on the orders we intercepted?
He was.
Now, I don't know how politics are going on this side of the border, but and I got no idea what the White Hand is. I'm guessing it's something you'd rather Tobias Akaith and the Kodurian royalty not be dealing with behind your back?
No, we'd rather not.
All right.
We're going to keep a lot of things close to the chest here, and we're going to keep things as need to know with you guys. I hope you understand this.
Of course. Does that need to know extend to who we're rescuing?
At this moment, no. We don't want any sort of information leaking. Just know
All
that
right.
is going to happen. And when it is pertinent, you will know this information.
All right then. So, now, if I can deal plainly with you, I know we're both practical folk. I know you're probably bringing us in here because if this all goes south, it gives Falskalla reasonable deniability. What kind of backup can we expect if things do go tits up?
We have a group that will be very motivated
Hmm.
to help you out. They will not backstab you. For this,
Well,
I'm very, very sure.
all right. Appreciate you dealing with that question in good faith. What do you need from us?
Patience. I need you personally scope out to help us personally scope out a party. Just you. There's going to be a gala coming up within the next week.
All right. Well,
We have a couple of our people inside already, but having you in there will give you better eyes and visuals of what's going on.
how ostentatious do you want me to be?
You are going to be one of the maid staff.
Good. All right. What kind of accommodation can my folk here expect in the meantime?
You are sitting in it.
Well,
This is all yours. This has all been paid for by us, and anything that is food will have to be dealt by your own by your own hand. We cannot let anybody know that you are being what's the damn word? That you're not being helped by us.
no, fair enough.
We recommend that you keep a lower profile, and within the coming weeks, we'll more than likely have you meet up with this group. They're known as Team Them.
Ah, the
Oh,
crab folks.
oh. You know how I was saying that I was hoping to run into these folks?
Yeah.
Well,
Now,
manifestation.
well, there you go. Now, what's this team's record like? I mean, I'll grant we don't always have the strongest leg to stand on criticizing anybody for causing a little chaos, but they've got a bit of a rep. I'd like to know it.
They can be quite destructive, causing a lot of distractions and problems for the enemy. Very unconventional, but their track record speaks for itself. They're very efficient. When focused, nothing gets in their way.
Sound like my kind of people. All right, well, place like this is more than generous of you considering what we've already negotiated, so I thank you for that. We will, of course, look after our own food and whatnot, and, well, I'm at your disposal as soon as you need me.
Perfect. Dante will be your liaison. He will contact you whenever we are in need. If you need to get a hold of us, he gives you gives you a sending stone.
Mm.
You can contact Dante. He will not reply on it, but he will come.
Much obliged. I tuck that away in my pockets.
With that, I believe that's my leave. I
Well,
really do appreciate this. You see it within like the visage that he's not very, not would say confident, but it's just there's a bit of an awkwardness speaking.
yeah. All right. Well, we appreciate you helping us out. Getting rid of Tobias and the current ruler suits both your country and mine. Offers her hand. Honored to be working with you.
Looks at the hand, extends it. You shake it. It's still a very firm grip.
Yeah.
And let's go, Dante. Dante nods again, tilts the hat, shape shifts, pulls the seal off the door, and then hands it to you guys.
Thank you.
This is a magical lock. This will seal the room that you're in from any sort of scrying, listening, or some sort of magic that will allow others to listen and observe you. You place it on the door, and it will seal the room. We recommend you use that here.
Much obliged. And as soon as they're out, I'll put it back on.
Yep.
I didn't know piggy proofing was possible.
Well, there's all kinds of magic in this world, Dolly. We can get our hands on some of this stuff in the deal. Could be useful back home. Erie, anything you could dream up like that?
Maybe so.
All right. Well, how we all feeling?
Pretty easy that you'll be attending alone.
Agreed.
Yeah. Take it as
Let
a
me know
sign.
what you need.
Yeah, will do. Take it as a sign of trust more than anything else. Besides, I need you all keeping an eye on other things. And if it all goes to shit, at least it's only one of us possibly going down.
Yeah, I
Remember,
don't like that though.
yeah, but a title don't mean shit. Y'all are the revolution, more than any one person who leads it.
Hmm.
Shall I speed this up?
Mm.
The week goes, and Shiren, you are met with Eckhart and Dante, given the maid's uniform, and then successfully infiltrated into Baltrus's gala.
Mhm.
It's at this point that when everybody's being introduced, that you see the introduction of Team Them,
Mm.
and notice that Diamondback is one of them.
Yeah.
But you, knowing that you can't be compromised, don't say anything. Keep an eye out from afar. Know that Tobias of Kaith is here.
Yeah.
The night's shenanigans go on. The dancing, the food. You are helping out with the help, and you're not in, because you were technically new. You wouldn't be allowed to go anywhere near any more of the higher profile people, so you would never been properly compromised by Tobias of Kaith or any of his associates.
Mhm.
And it's at this point is where Diamondback gets, quote unquote, captured, detained, and thrown away. You see Dante and Eckhart come up. It has been done. It has been done.
All right. Now, just clarifying from that statement.
Yep.
Did I see who they took out? Or do I
You
not know?
like being one of the staff. You kind of a bunch of the different women are more or less curious there because something big has happened. Some of the men are more of the wait staff and the butlers are trying to keep everything hush hush or at least organized and whatnot. But you being able to at least get yourself into a position knowing how to kind of maneuver crowds, got a glimpse and saw Diamondback gagged and walked out in handcuffs.
Yeah. And I just kind of nod and I say, well, you told me it was one of yours being handed over. That's one of ours, too.
We're not having this discussion here.
Yeah, fair enough. Just
And
felt it was
that's
worth
where we're going to start tonight's episode of Falskallan Nights.
In.
Last time on Falskallan Nights, our crew ended up at a gala being personally invited by Baltris, Halsterians, our ever so venerable Halsterians, super great grandfather.
We're like super meh grandfather.
You don't disrespect the new bloods in here.
Even Hal's just taken to calling him ancestor.
Pretty much. Which at this point, Tobias of Caith had decidedly won his gambit and finally got Diamondback where he needed him to be. Captured and in his possession. Although you as the player characters do not know where Diamondback has been disposed of as of yet. Outside the game, or outside the characters, he's taken to Castle Onver and placed under watch. It's at this point you've been immediately contacted by Silent Ivory, asked if you wanted to get him back, and you said yes, you did. Which at this point you're now waiting on Silent Ivory to contact you. During this time, you've had a little downtime to kind of figure out exactly what you wanted to do, where to go, what to see. you guys are at the guild hall, and you guys are at the guild hall. This is about a week after Diamondback's. I'm saying capture just for the sake, for the best word I can think of at this point, or arrest. After Diamondback's arrest, brought. It's early morning, and you guys are basically in your room. You're just waking up, and you hear a knock at your door. You're muted. It's Steve.
Who
I
wants
thought you
to
said. I thought you
get
said
it?
something.
Say that again, Steve. You.
Who wants to get it?
I'll get it. Ay, ay. Laziness. Mage hand open the door.
B is still snoring while wrapped up in Spleen's arms, just not even noticed anything.
It's at this point you see Crimson Pride walk in, full set of armor, fully prepared and ready to go, with Silent Ivory right behind her.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay. Howard immediately starts getting up and putting on.
No. Sit down. We got you at this time because we wanted to make
Oh.
sure you were all here.
Okay.
Don't worry. For those of you in the audience who do not know, you see a tall, red-headed woman in full plate armor, as crimson as her hair itself, standing tall, standing prideful, and walks with this grace of she's seen lots of combat and still has the grace to walk with an authoritative kindness instead of an authoritative bastard's walk. You know the walk. in comes Silent Ivory right behind. The door shuts. We've given you some time to process this. We're now going to start coming up with a plan. This won't be happening for months. So at this point, all you have to do is wait. I know that's going to be the hardest thing to do.
Hmm.
We're trying to keep the Kodurian Viceroy inside Falskalla as long as possible.
Okay.
Golden Cavalier and Violet Fury are doing their best to stall him.
certainly appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. He is currently being held under our watch in Castle Onver. Tobias Kaith will not have any authority over Darren until he leaves the Falskallan border. At this point, all I ask of you is to not retaliate. Keep your patience. We have a crew that we pulled in from Goduria that we will introduce you to make sure that when you guys head an attack together, or a capture or recapture, however you see fit, that it'll be thoroughly planned out. Or at least, if something goes wrong, it's pointed in a direction, not everywhere.
Hmm. Well, patience is not exactly one of all of our strong suits, but we will have to temper a few hands to knowing that it will happen will help.
This is why we're keeping communication as open as we possibly can. This will very much be a need-to-know basis. We won't be able to give you all the details as much as, but when it starts to become more pertinent, we will let you know.
Thank you for all of your assistance.
It's all appreciated.
Crimson Pride steps in. I recognize that this might tarnish our name and our trust as colors, especially since we specifically could not lie to you or tell you the truth. This was the best way that we could do this.
We needed his aid, don't we?
She looks over to Silent Ivory, desperately.
Then what else can we do?
Meet with this new team. You guys will be separated as much as possible, but we will also need you to work together. Which at this point we will probably send you on training missions together. Further north into the countryside so that nobody observes us.
I see. So we'll not be meeting them in terms of like a strange happenstance at one of the markets or something. No
No.
accidental brawl that gets moved away. Nothing like that.
No. Me being the leader of the guild, I have the liberty of handing out missions or creating missions. I have a lot of leeway of moving people and personnel without causing a lot of stir from anybody who might be observing. We will let you know when we will need you guys to be around. If you choose to move outside of Onver, that is okay, but I would highly recommend that you stay within a teleportation circle's distance. You will have free access to access all of them through all of our main halls and guilds, and parliamentary buildings. There's a lot of leeway we are going to be giving you here. But we ask you to respond when we call.
We'll stay together at all times.
You don't necessarily need to stay together. And he pulls out a bunch of sending stones. You will not be dealing with me directly, but you'll be dealing with our liaison, and he'll be able to help you. He'll be able to help you get into necessary spots without any trouble or issue. If you are outside of Onver, he'll make the necessary contacts. All you have to do is say who you are, location, and he'll have everything set up for you. He will not reply back on these. We don't give up our own. He stands up a little straighter and kind of the way he's looking as if he kind of meets your eye. You'll stare into it for a couple seconds and then just kind of trail off. We don't give up our own. Even though he's technically Kodurian, we don't give up our own. And as that he says that, he turns around, he steps out. Crimson Pride is still in the room. She kind of grabs a chair, she sits down. So then what will you guys do?
Fair.
Suppose whenever someone tells me to act normal, I don't do that very well, so I'll probably... Let's go with perhaps... over drink. Or at least the semblance of it. And he looks over to basically the rest of the team. I assume you will be joining me in some level, just to... We're showing our lament. We've lost a friend.
We all expect you to act out, to do things that are within the processes of grief. Be angry, to fight, to drink, to fuck, to eat, to whatever. All we ask is to not do something drastic.
Manageable levels of chaos. Don't stick
Manageable
out
level
too much.
of chaos. With a couple of seconds, she just takes a deep breath. Breathes out. At this point, you've never seen Crimson Pride actually let her guard down, per se. And at this moment, you're catching a deep glimpse into like her mental psyche at this point. It's just very tired. She looks very tired. Reads out. Stands up, just nods her head, turns around, walks out, shuts the door behind her in a really genteel way.
I'm gonna cast message at her. Everyone needs a break sooner or later. Make sure you get some rest as well.
You do not hear a reply back.
He doesn't
Does
expect
not reply.
one.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about any of you, but still kind of pretty pissed off at them. So I'm going to take full advantage of what they're giving us, and I think I'm going to start doing some stuff again. So who wants a drink?
What
And more
level of
mushrooms.
stuff?
Well, let's go have a drink, and I'll start telling you.
Mage armor. Alright.
No. It just like Diamondback kind of kept me on the straight and narrow, and now he's gone, and now the colors are going to reap the rewards of that, or the consequences, whatever. Anyways, you guys are great.
I fucking agree. This is bullshit. And I'm fucking pissed too.
So we create as much chaos as possible to get back at the colors, is what I'm hearing.
I mean,
Manageable levels. Modesty.
Manageable. Yeah.
Do we even know what modesty is?
As
You
you stand
don't.
up and you're bottomless.
Until you put that circlet on.
So what are we blowing up? We're gonna go get ale and then we're blowing something up.
Oh no.
Breakfast beer?
Yeah, breakfast beer.
Breakfast beer. Let's go get breakfast beer.
Howard
then we
has
can talk about
1,000-yard
what-
stares. He suddenly realizes he's the only party dad around right now.
you're more like now the party uncle. All the little nephews and nieces.
All I can think about is like a poo with a bunch of his kids all on leashes.
All I know is that my end goal is to have Tobias's head.
Agreed.
I like that goal.
Yep, I'm going
And
to
a
make him
few
shit
others.
himself.
The timing.
I love that. Make him shit himself, and then I'm going to keep his skull and also use that as like a shit bucket.
But timing is extremely important for this. It's gonna have to wait a while.
Oh yeah, that's kind of part of the plan.
Oh, so like a prolonged, like rotting from the inside type of thing, right?
What if we poison him?
Yeah.
Make him shit himself.
Yeah.
For weeks.
Oh,
And then we strike.
Yimmer. Do you have
Oh.
something for that?
I can. It's just okay. I'll think about it.
All right.
Oh, there was that mushroom that you got from the. But right before we finished off Spreader.
Wait,
Yeah.
wasn't that the mushroom that turned the people into like the crazy?
That was the wrong accent. What's your point?
Well, I might want it. I might want it.
Why?
I don't know if I support that idea.
It's
I don't know.
Look, I'll come clean. I did give one to Mr. Sack, and it's okay. So
back up, Mr. Sack.
Yeah,
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 Zach.
yeah. His
The
sack. Mr.
Yes,
Sack.
Mr. though. It's
well, yeah, because it mists all the time. It mists. So it's the Mr. Sack.
Oh, I thought he was married.
No, it's a sack. He can't be a man or woman or whatever. It's a sack.
uh,
It's
Mr.
probably a
Sack.
man because a lot of men have sacks. Okay, so it's probably.
Oh,
I can't.
I did not look at that. Huh.
I was once with a woman that had a sack. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay, well then maybe you need to ask your sack.
What gender are you, Zach?
What do you like to be called?
I need the pickle juice.
Faggot. I'm sorry.
We need to know the pronouns of your sack.
We need to know
You need to know the
his preferred
pronouns of your
pronouns.
sack.
Well done, everybody.
Okay.
That
Hour
wasn't
and a half
in the
in.
apartment. He had to go out and buy it.
I'm doing this with a canker. That's how dedicated I am to this.
Oh
event.
no!
Oh no.
I already forgot.
For the bit. For the bit.
Pain brings you closer to God.
Is that what it does?
So yeah, I quite like the idea of breakfast beers. Let's
Breakfast beers.
brainstorm or storm brain, whatever it is, and yeah, let's raise some chaos.
Should I put the circlet on in order to do that?
Yes.
No one asked
He
you.
says yes, so I say no. Fuck you,
Shit.
Howard.
That's right. That's my girl.
Gives you more ideas, though.
You're not listening to authority anymore.
That's
Yeah.
true.
True. Hal is correct. Still, fuck you, Howard, as she puts it on. Passes out.
Passes out.
No. That doesn't work with you because you actually have
That's true.
average intellect.
I pass out from her putting it on.
Still don't have pants on. Pants were not invited to this party.
Oh yeah, Yimmer's been stark naked this whole time.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Except for the crown. Definitely imagine you still have that crown.
Yep.
Oh, always.
Are we back at the guild or where are we?
Yeah,
You're the
we're in our
guild.
room.
You guys are in your room.
Mm.
Which at this point, Spleen, all your crabs have been put into a bathtub that has been dragged into your room.
Sides of the
You guys
bathtub
do this?
grease so they
Oh
can't
my
get
god,
out.
you're so strong. I knew you, my babies are so strong. Ooh.
Do they all have names?
They do now. We got floorboard, hair.
Beach!
You say bitch?
Yeah, bitch. That's a good
This is
one.
bitch. This is beach. This is butch. This is booch. Batch.
You better write these down. I'm not doing it.
The thing is, she's not gonna remember. She's gonna keep making them up as we go.
They're gonna get new names every single time.
Every time.
You forget which crabs you already counted and you name one twice.
Yep.
Beach, formerly known as Butch.
Riches. And Chris.
I like bitch. Bitch is my favorite.
Yeah, bitch. Yeah. Bitch is bitchin'.
Bitch is bitchin'. Okay, breakfast ale, let's go.
Right. Bye, babies. Here, food.
So, yeah, you guys you gotta heading out into the guild hall. I'm assuming. I'm just gonna say you got dressed.
I'm
Grudgingly.
I like to think that I have like one of Beatrice's like little hair beads or little metal cuffs that it's in her hair. It's in one of mine, like a little braid.
He's so cute.
you dreaded one of your hair.
Yeah. I'd Beatrice do one of them.
Beads.
Yeah. Yep. Beads. Beads.
God. I thought I missed you guys. Apparently I don't.
Now you're rethinking everything.
Yeah.
You know what? You can have it back. You can have Diamondback back now. Tom, fix this.
I don't know. The stories I'm coming up with about prison. That sounded worse than I intended.
Yeah, because we all like to hear about Prison Daddy.
He runs the yard.
Now they
Trade
all
songs
call
for
him
cigarettes.
Daddy Diamondback.
Oh my god. They purposely dropped the soap in front of you.
Okay, you go and grab your breakfast beer at this point. So we're gonna start going into basically time skip and jump. mode. So, I have a basic idea of what you guys want to do at this point. Who wants to go first? If nobody wants to, you'll go first?
Yeah, I'll go first, just because this is going to be... I didn't realize we had access to the sending circles or whatever they are.
The sending stones.
Yeah.
But the sending stones, but where are the other circles?
The teleportation
Teleportation
circles.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we have free reign of those.
You would have access to move between them. It's more or less for whenever you get called.
Oh, we can't just use them willy-nilly between now and then?
When you get the call,
I'm not the one
To say-
casting it. They are.
they will be the one who's casting it. But for the sake of you running your head into a wall and saving us some time on that part, you attempt to try and do that and realize that you need the proper authorization to do it beforehand, meaning you wouldn't be able to get into any place that would have a circle if it was not pre-authorized beforehand. When you get the call to come, or if you call Dante for a reason for it,
Okay.
that's he would be able to set that up for you.
Okay, so not as much chaos then.
That's more or less the idea.
Okay. No more
And
intercity.
that's what I'm sticking with.
Yeah, yeah.
I can see the shit, the shit talker just, or the shit disturber, telling me in your eyes, telling me you're gonna find a way around my words, and I'm gonna fucking hate it.
Fine, I won't start a drug cartel.
Oh no! You're starting a goddamn drug cartel because you told me you were going to do it.
I'm going to do it. I just thought it was going to be intercity at this point.
Oh,
I thought I just got a green light to travel between cities.
you've got 3 months. You've got 3 months. You still have a lot of setup to do, my friend.
Yeah. So yeah, Yimmer will yeah, so Yimmer, I guess I'll do this in voice, I guess.
You can if you wish. If your voice cannot handle Yimmers because of the sickness, you are not forced to do it.
Cool. Yimmer's okay. It was the other one that was a bit.
Yeah, with reading.
Yeah, that's
With
fair.
reading.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for that. You might recall that I wasn't there when Diamondback was taken, and I was kind of actually with this one lady, really great friend. She actually has some brothers that have connections to lots of shady stuff, which is kind of what I did before I met Diamondback. He got me on the straight and narrow. Now I'm going kind of crazy again. So that brings me. Pardon?
I support this 100%. I support this.
Excellent, because I'm going to need a lot of your help to make this work. So, I started making up some crazy stuff. Long story short, everyone loved it. Party people love partying. And so I was thinking of making a bit of a, a thing about that. Making some coin, making some people like me some more, get some favors, and after a while you make the help your friends, and then the help helps you, because you're their friends. And we go all the way to the prison, in the castle, in Onver, and then we make Tobias shit himself. And rescue Diamondback, because I want my Diamondback. So yeah.
I can get behind any plan that ends with him shitting himself. That's
Yeah, Mr. Sack is really helping me with all this crazy stuff. I didn't really think I could do it. And so, yeah, I think we can really, make a name for ourselves. Become the people to, go to for party favors and other things, kind of like it was in the old day, before you knew me. And, yeah. Because, fuck the colors. I'm just gonna... everyone's gonna shit. Shit everywhere. And that's the end of my presentation.
Which is at this point, you're in the middle of a tavern. You're having this whole on conversation. You're not even quiet about it.
Yeah.
And you see some of them patrons that are there, more or less. Most of them are more or less slumped over their tables that have fallen asleep at their tables or the bar rail, and you see like a couple of really, really drunk and stoned like teenagers just like, yeah, fuck the colors.
Those guys know what it's about.
Hey, kids,
What do you guys
want
do
some
anyway?
shrooms?
Sorry, I interrupted you there, Hal.
Hey, kids, do you want to buy some shrooms?
I
Oh,
know,
no.
holy shit.
The first taste is always free with me.
I'm not even doing this. They gladly take it. Because, I mean, they're teenagers, they're already stoned out of their mind. So there you go. You handed some kids some mushrooms. Yeah. All right, now that you've given the presentation, how are you setting this up? What's your plan? I'm not building this for you. You got to build it yourself.
Okay,
you
I
want
don't
to
know how
you
to
want to
capture
build you want to build an empire. You got to learn to build yourself.
No.
I'll give you some world building techniques. I'm going to help you.
Ooh, a build your own empire situation. I love that. So I thought if anyone does want to help me, I'll go talk to my new lady friend, Cordelia, get the introduction to her brothers, and then I think we can start, making people feel good, make them stand up at attention, as it were. Oh, by the way, does anyone want these green stuff? Or, sorry, blue stuff? Ladies, I don't know if it'll work for you, but doesn't hurt. Lads, I've seen the way you've been looking at each other.
Yeah, woo! It's just like.
And the ships are going into chat.
It's rapid fire. Oh dear God. What have I done?
Let Yimmer become a kingpin.
Yeah.
Just give me a second.
So yeah, everyone really liked a bunch of the stuff at the party, so I'm going to start selling it, and then make more of it, and then sell more of it, and then, yeah. Eventually people will just want to help us because we just make them all feel good all the time and help them out. So, yeah. Who's in?
Damn.
So are you talking to the group or are you talking to Cordelia and her brothers?
We're talking about the whole ass tavern.
You're still at the damn tavern?
That's what I thought.
Howard's just like,
At this point, I'm giving you guys the ability to do kind of like timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly stuff. Like, I'm not, like...
Okay.
We could do things within chronological order, but, I mean... let's be honest, I'm going to try and jump into a bunch of everybody else's trying to do their training or whatever they want to do, right? So your first thing is to set up with Cordelia and her brothers, Arthan and Cullen.
Mm-hmm. Arthur or
Arthan.
Arthan?
Arthan, Arthan, and Cullen, Cullen.
Cullen. Okay.
Cullen.
Arthan and Cullen.
Yep.
So that's kind of my plan. Would like all your help if available, but totally respect if you want to do your own thing to kind of, raise a little hell. And yeah, always happy to help you guys out. If you need anything made up to, make things happen, let me know.
So Arthan, the older of the younger brothers, is... I'm trying to remember was she gnomish or halfling? think she was halfling.
That sounds right.
Yeah, Cordelia is halfling. So yeah, her brother's
Yeah, wasn't gnome.
yeah. So he stands about an inch and a half taller than his brother Cullen, but you get the total different vibe where all it is like even in the middle of winter, he's still wearing shorts and like cut off tank t-shirt, where you see that all he does is like consistently work out. He's just looking at you, bro. I totally get you. We're gonna get these things in. I know the people of the parties all around here. It's gonna be great.
That's what I'm talking about.
We'll start with my friends. We'll get them in. We'll get them starting to sell things out and around. And Cullen steps up. Even though he's like the shorter, younger brother, there's still like he kind of follows suit of his brother. Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you this. I got my friends too. We're gonna do this. Cordelia doesn't even know what's gonna hit her. It's gonna be great. Wait, is that what we were doing there, Arthur? You weren't even listening, were you? Ah, shit.
Nope, totally get it. I kind of zone in and out as well, but totally love the energy you two are bringing. Love the plan. Get your friends in. Friends are always the best people to start with. They're your best marketers. And then from there, you go and get referrals. And guys, like, we're in this, and you're at the top. You're at the top with me. We're like brothers.
Yeah, let's fucking do this. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Yes, let's do this. Colin, yeah, let's do this. Let's go.
Fucking pyramid scheme.
And thus starts something. Matt, I would like for you to roll a D100 for me, please.
A D what?
100.
Ooh. Why, yeah. Oh no, we're gonna D100. Come on, big money, no whammies. 14.
Okay.
That's either good or bad.
You do not know.
Hmm.
We'll have to see. Which at this point, now we'll go into other shenanigans. So as far as I've read here, Halcyon Spleen and Howard, you want to try and do a bunch of mage slaying training and a bunch of combative techniques.
Yeah, and help Hal harness into that raging stuff.
So I assume you guys would be doing this in the guild hall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in the training area.
Which is good. I'm assuming B would just be hanging around at this point before she heads off to Ram's Bottom.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool. So while Yimmer is doing his thing, setting up the party scene, you guys are in the courtyard, the fighting pit, training, and you've guys kind of conscripted a couple of the scribs from the academy. Wow. Words. To kind of help you out with mage training. These kids are actually quite proficient with slinging evocation magic. So one of them's like a young elf, very much like he's 20. He's an elf. He's very young. Blonde, long flowing blonde hair. He's got sterling green eyes that kind of shade into a yellow whenever you look at them in a certain light. It's really pretty. But you also see what is a dwarven female. She's stout, but has this really nice slender figure to her. and seems to be has a bit of an agility to her that allows her to kind of duck, dodge, dive, weave, and dodge.
Dodge.
Which at this point they're running around and slinging magic at you guys and doing your training. So if there's any sort of role-playing moment, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just keep moving ahead.
Got nothing.
You got nothing?
I didn't have anything specific.
You didn't have nothing specific.
So what are these kids doing?
Slinging
They're tossing spells at us for me to work on with my rage, you to work with your mage slayer, and both of us to sort of learn from each other.
Okay.
With the help of Howard, I'm sure, with, some explosions in the background.
Yeah, I mean,
Probably.
actually, that would also be pretty good for Howard with his blind training or his blind fighting.
Spleen's yelling at Hal, you're supposed to dodge! Dodge! You need to know when to smash your face into stuff and not letting stuff smash into your face.
I'd also actually think that Howard would be slinging spells at you guys as well, with the blindfold on, so that way you could learn to where to accurately pinpoint your shots. So at this point, it's like you two are fighting each other while, Spleen and Halsterian are fighting each other, and fighting each other, getting spells slung at, while Howard is trying to sling spells and try not to get hit by said spells. It's like it's one giant clusterfuck, is what it is. But it seems to be
the whole point.
Which is the whole point.
Yeah.
And this kind of brings you. It reminds you a lot of the times when you were fighting, when you fought in the war. Stretch! Right at heart, thank you so much. All right. Okay, shoulders back, double chin. And then a hydrate. Well, I don't have hydrationary stuff, but I've got pickle juice.
We also got 2 party boons a while back. I just didn't want to interrupt.
I appreciate. So now that we got the time, boons. Boon wise, what we got?
I think they were both combat related when I rolled them. Hang on. Was it 11? Which is combat related, and a 16, which is combat related.
Cool.
So I can just hang on to them until they are relevant if you would like.
Well, they're relevant now. You're getting shot at.
That's true. I already forgot. One of them is next time we hit 0 hit points, we go to 1 instead, and the other is add 1 to attack rolls for 1d4 turns.
It's during some of your trainings that you get this kind of feeling that you're kind of a little more lively than you were before. You get hit by one very well placed lightning bolt. It basically hits your heart, and you just go.
Oof. Well, would you like me to roll? Or would you like to determine what the party bane is? Because trading mishap go.
Okay, what is it? What is it?
Alright, let's find out. Just a 6 is AC reduced by 1.
Oh.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, so it also kind of helps that you have the blindfold on to really help you try and hone in that you're not as mobile as you think, and you're not as observant in the surrounding. And as soon as you fire off a fireball that completely whiffs, and then all you hear is, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Fuck off, Roberta!
She just rushes right towards you, picks you up by the scruff, lifts you, basically like pushes you into the wall. Just a couple of the bricks fold in. Just what?
We're training.
Do it at the damn academy if you're going to be using magic. It just takes you. Takes you off the wall.
Magic.
At this point, we're doing it at the comedy scene. Door to the front door of the guild opens. Yeah! You get thrown out. About 10 seconds later, you see the rest of y'all get thrown out.
Howard judges the newbies for not using Featherfall on themselves.
The fact is, you still have the blindfold on you.
That's Hal.
What? You have blindfold.
I thought it was you.
Hal is the one doing blind fighting training. Isn't he?
Oh, yeah, it is. Oops.
Wait.
Both of you are blindfold.
Let me check the notes.
And I'm
Spleen?
just there.
I could see it though. Spleen blindfolded us both. Like, whatever. I don't remember who was supposed to be blindfolded. And Howard's like, what? And then combat starts and he can't do anything about it.
It's at this point that when you get thrown out and hit the cobblestone, you hit your head and it starts feeling a bit fuzzy, and you start noticing, just even though you have the blindfold still on, you start noticing not so much as like Daredevil style optics surrounding you, but you're almost like how Toph would see, where you kind of see the sonar, like the vibrations, but you're not able to pick up like full-on shapes, but you're hearing things. You're hearing heavier footsteps around you, and you're starting to actually pinpoint. It's at this point that you guys head to the academy and continue your training.
Yep, my main goal is to get as close as I can with all the magic going around.
And honestly, it'd be the best spot to do it.
Yep. I hope you newbies can take a hit, because I'm not holding back.
It's just a wave of a bunch of school children running at Spleen.
I know. Punch a child in the face. Oh!
Don't fight kindergartners. That's not the whole question. Those kids are getting smacked.
It's
all I can think about is that video of the guy just slapping everybody. You can't do.
Yep.
it's
Or that one video
it's-
of like the kids like playing with pillows or something like foam, and this one guy that's just like pushing them all to the ground.
It's Billy Madison when he's at recess.
Oh my god. It's during this time, B, you're deciding to go home.
Mm-hmm. She would have nudged Howard at one point and been like, did you ever find your fancy weird ass metal bullshit?
They're working on it, on a mold for me made out of it at my brain doesn't remember. It's on the tip of my tongue. Hang on.
Artificer's Triumvirate.
Yes, thank you.
Cool.
The Artificer's Triumvirate.
So I was gonna say, if you need a smithy.
I will, once the mold is done. I'm going
Sounds
to need
good.
your help as well as a few others.
I am gonna head back to Ramsbottom and get that up and running. So whenever you are ready, it will be ready.
Awesome.
Cool. She would have gone to visit Gran and the murder kitty.
And the Murder Kitty.
And the murder kitty.
Okay. So then at this point, is Spleen coming with?
Would Spleen
Yeah,
like
if
to
I'm
come in?
not training,
You're not training.
Then- then my time is with her.
So at this point, I would say it would be a good month in that you guys are doing your training and you're starting to get ahead. You're starting to get ahead. At this point, you do have the mold now for the spell component.
Gimmer, you want to start drug trades in Solness?
Yeah.
Let's go.
What?
Just
Are
not
we-
in Ramsbottom. Keep it the fuck out of Ramsbottom, or I will chop your balls off myself. But let's go.
You'll be a
Okay.
sackless with a sack.
That was a good one, babe. Ghost of Miss Cooper.
Oh my.
Missed you.
They're gonna start drugging.
I will use teleportation circle to help
Teach you to take my
expedient,
Diamondback.
make travel expedient
Cool.
when going between places.
Hmm.
As long as it's not a problem for me to be using the Lorthan's castle circle.
That's fair. So before you guys head out, it's because I would say it would be pretty much like a month. A month in, you decide to finally go back to Ramsbottom, and so at this point, Yimmer's had a month to get things set up.
During that month, is is Alabel in Onver?
Yeah, she's around. Yeah, she would be around. She'd be up at the Soul Weavers Consortium. She'd be at the hospital. She's just doing what Alabel does.
Yeah. She probably would have poked Alabel for a little bit of medic training, considering what she witnessed with her grandfather dying.
Mm,
So she probably would have poked her to at least be able to non-magically stop someone from dying. Because she probably doesn't have time to magically train in cleric.
yeah, that's fair. Okay. It's during this time that when Spleen is training with the guys, coming back all bloody and bruised, you're taking some of the training that Alabel is giving you at this point, where she at this point gives you a sack or like a duffel bag full of full of medical supplies. So at this point, you have a healer's kit with you now.
Okay, sweet.
You would have a healer's kit, and you, as a player, you actually have the ability to stabilize.
Okay.
Like, all of you guys actually have this ability to
Mhm.
stabilize a person when they are down.
Yeah, some
It's one of those features that gets really looked over.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the fact is, you have a healer's kit with just like basic salves and not potions per se, but stuff that will accelerate the healing processes. That is not through. It doesn't leave scars and everything, but you're still, because you have the circlet on, you're picking this up a lot quicker than you would have ever have otherwise. But as soon as you take it off, you start failing to retain it.
Okay.
So if you were going to be able to do any sort of healing like this, like the way I would say you, because you're specifically learning from Alabel herself, you were able to heal a person with a 1d6. And that'll be within combat itself, but you need to have the circlet on.
Got it.
So you have the ability to do that. And I would say you could do that 3 times before you have to try and replenish your bag, which short rest or long rest. Sorry, not short rest.
Got it.
So there you
Yeah. Cool.
there you
and
go.
then we would have headed up to Ram's Bottom.
Yeah. Before you head out, because you're telling Alabelle all this stuff, and you're going through the grieving process still with her there, and she's definitely feeling it as well, because I mean, this is an old friend.
Mhm.
If you're gonna go see Liliana, please give her this. And you see like a little nicely wrapped bag, and it's full of cookies and whatnot.
I'm sure she'll love it.
Yeah, and I mean, I wish I could go back there. I'm so busy here, and I miss him.
Me too. But he's
And
alive in our hearts.
I know, hey, but he gave his life doing what he did best, and dear God, he did that well.
Yes, that's very true.
Well, go be his granddaughter and go do it, but don't die, because if you die, I'm gonna have to resurrect you, and if you do, I'm gonna slap you.
Got it. Thank you, Auntie Belle.
Yeah. Speaking of, I'm gonna need to find myself a really expensive gem for that moment.
Well, if you want money towards that.
Don't worry. I run the consortium.
That's true.
I have access.
Government checks.
Government checks. Da-da-da. Which at that point you go.
Give her a big old hug, lift her up off the floor.
Yeah. At that point you just hear like one of her back so you hear like her back pop, just like, oh, whoa, oh, haven't felt that in a while. Going through, so then you're not going through Lorthan's castle? Like,
Yeah, I'll,
Howard,
I'll.
are you sending them? Where are you sending them directly? Did you set up another portal?
No, I have the one in Lorthan's Citadel. So if it's okay for me to use that, like they don't have a problem with it, then I'll use that to expedite the trip.
Yeah, like set it up. You call Dante to let him know that this is you're sending some people through, just family visit,
Yeah.
nothing serious, and so you guys get shot across to Solnas. Lorthan's castle, it's still the same antechamber that you get summoned into, where you'd fought some of the elite White Hand units. You walk out into the castle, and it looks like it's been fairly cleaned up well, and there's still battle scratches on the walls and whatnot, and it looks like it's starting the repair processes quite well. Going through Solness, the town is starting to look livelier, and you see that people coming from what is the name of the other town? Stoiler. Yeah, coming across from Stoiler from the Dryadic Woad and whatnot. So it's starting to become more populated, but a lot of the heavier damage has been at the port side. And from the view of the castle, you can see that basically Emerald Envy is heading this repair herself and ensuring that her fleet can be maintained and tended to. And so a lot of the stuff that has been the blockade has been pretty much dismantled. All that wood, whatever it is being used as help for the repair processes, being put back into the docks and into the front-facing stone buildings that have been damaged or destroyed during the siege and occupation. Going through, you see the city, the main clock tower that has been that was once held. Oh my god, why can I not words right now? The main clock tower area that once held the goblin enforcement Everything is cleared out, and you walk past the what'd you call it? Alleyway where your friend had passed, where you found his body. Heading up, you finally make it up to Bram's Bottom, and you see, yeah, you see your father outside, kind of just handling some of the cattle and the sheep. A lot of the farmhands are gone now because they're allowed to go back into the city and start their lives again. So your dad's out, and you see. I would think it would just be Beatrice and Spleen. Yimmer, you would kind of just go off and do your own thing. Cool. So we'll start with Beatrice then. You make it back up to Ram's Bottom, and at this point, this is starting of the spring thaw. So a lot of the snow is now starting. The fields are becoming muddy, and knowing that they're gonna have to get tilled and replanted and whatnot, but that's not for at least another month. You see your father. You see your father look up at you. B, what are you doing here?
We've got some downtime, so I've come home for a little bit.
Oh, good. Come in. And he gives you a hug. Always welcome. I think your gran is gonna love having you here. And it's a point you walk into the front door, and I think you're muted, Spleen.
Am I?
I don't know. I thought you were saying something.
No.
and-
That was my way to check, was say, am I? And you guys answered, so I'm not. She's
Okay.
just
No.
giving a big old awkward smile, just like toothy grin, like, hello, parents.
Hello, small green child.
That is. I'm an adult.
Small green child. Come.
Small green child.
Well,
Okay.
give you something to eat. Lena, come. Bee's here. And Spleen. And so Liliana and Lena are in the kitchen. They're basically just making up a giant pot of what seems to be a chili.
Oh.
This-
I
God, I'm
love
not-
chili. Just
Oh,
how much I
God.
love asparagus.
I'm not gonna I want to describe food, but I just
My
Jesus.
stomach
I'm not
hurts.
expecting these reaction. They're having a chili. I love chili.
I love chili. And asparagus.
In asparagus.
Asparagus.
You walk into the kitchen, you see both ladies that are covered in basically dough and whatever kind of meats that they've been hacking up and just getting things prepared. They go over, hello, and they give you just the biggest giant hug, even full. They didn't even bother to take the apron off.
Who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
Hello, Hearth Maidens.
Oh, come here.
Come
Come
on,
here.
Spleen.
Come here. And you see, Liliana's meaty hand grabs your shoulder. No, she grabs your shoulder, brings you in, just koosh.
Oh,
No, you're skinny. Have you been eating?
I have, and she has. We have.
Just has your face just
I'm
It's like-
just very angular.
I'm
I
going
also
to
have
change that.
bones sticking out of me, so you'll probably feel that.
I'm going to change that, and you are not going to fight me. So come here, and she grabs you by one of the horns and just pulls you into the kitchen.
Shit!
Good luck trying to domesticate her.
I've done it with Hamilton.
Hamilton, is that the murder kitty?
That's a murder kitty.
Yes.
Where's the murder kitty, Gran?
Where's the murder kitty? Oh, somewhere around. You just hear basically the duplication process, or the illusionary duplication process happen, and you see this slightly bigger kitty come out around the corner, just.
Oh, you've grown.
Which at that point, Liliana, no, sorry, no, and the cat just, the illusionary just goes away, kind of slinks away, up, and just jumps up, and now you have a displacer kitten just on her shoulder as she's trying to feed you. As
Such a badass. Oh, Gran, Alabelle made these, and she pulls the little wrapped box out. She said she's sorry she couldn't come visit, but she figured some cookies were good enough.
That's perfectly okay. She takes them, takes a bite. Yep, she still doesn't know how to cook.
That's awesome.
It's a thought that counts, and just puts it on the table.
It can't be that bad. Picks one up, and cracks her tooth on. Oh.
No, she cracks your tooth, but as soon as you try and get your saliva to kind of dissolve it a bit better, it's almost the consistency of hardtack. But as soon as you do, you get a lot of the baking powder and over salted.
She tried.
This is really good. Oh my god.
Flavors of
Wow.
chemicals. I love it.
Oh, it's so salty. Oh,
It actually kind of
I
reminds you.
crave the mineral.
It kind of reminds you of the superly oversalted jerky that you would get when you were a child at home from your tribe.
You gonna eat that?
No, honey, you can have it.
And it's at this point that you guys just are being sat down in the middle of the kitchen, continuing to help create this giant meal. That's this giant meal that's meant for your father, the farm hands that are out there starting to help with the fields, and
Yeah, Spleen will go and help, especially with her strength of the croc, and do a lot of the heaviest stuff.
yeah, you're basically outpacing a lot of the workers because you've got at this point I have no idea what farming is, so
Yeah, I do whatever. I'm an ox.
you do the farming thing. You start basically wrangling the cows out, and if some of them are starting to get stubborn, you actually can speak with animals, so you
Yeah.
talk them into coming in and whatnot. And I'm not even gonna make you roll for it because at this
Yeah.
point I like a holistic moment to be holistic.
Mhm.
Although a natural one would be funny.
I ended up butting heads with a bull.
Yeah, no, that would be
Exactly my
basically one of
thought.
the things. Yeah.
It's
Like a bull's trying to do a domestic territorial dispute, and you're just not having any of it. Just which at
Yeah.
this point, Brecon is he's just looking and watching it happen. And as soon as you guys start getting really heated and are not gonna back down, he steps in, just all right. That's enough out of the both of you.
He said that he can till more of the land than I can. Fucker, I will. You want to try?
Dear God. Spleen, I swear you can. But if you really want to try and prove it, come back in a month.
Yeah. You don't even know what you're starting.
Oh, sorry. It's on, fucker. Spleen ends up picking a fight with all the animals on Ram's bottom.
I know. I've become like the annoying little sibling to all of them. You want to try me? Oh, Jesus.
But it's at this point that you spend the next week basically helping out and getting things set up and prepped for the spring. And with that, I think I'm going to end tonight's episode off with this.
Yep.
Sounds good.
I agree with Otter. Domestic spleen. Yep.
So I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. It's been awesome to come back to this. I definitely got to get the rust off my language skills. Definitely have not been using it well enough, but it's okay. I will get back into it. It'll be great. And you guys, it's about damn time.
Yeah, this was fun. This was nice.
This was definitely nice to get back.
Some weird statements throughout this whole game. Night. You know, we're gendering a sack.
It's good to be back.
It's good to be back. That being said, before we leave tonight's session, we want to get through the ending announcements. So with Tom, I want to thank you for the patience and allowing us to do our thing without you.
Oh God, no worry. I mean, I felt like I was a little overrepresented in the first half, so this is perfect.
Yeah.
No.
That's perfect. So
Yeah.
before we do that, let's figure out who we're going to raid. And Tom, go into the announcements now.
Thank you, and thank you, Adventurer, for joining us once again in Falskalla. Thanks again to D Beyond for sponsoring us. Thanks to FX May Vary for sponsoring us and contributing some amazing artists to the Dire Bear family. Huge thanks, of course, to our first Adept Patreon, Mama Bear, whose praises shall be sung tonight in the ineffable style of Heart. Till now, we always got by on our own. We never really cared until we met you. But your money, it keeps us in the air. How we love you, Mama Bear. Remember to check out Patreon if you'd like to hear me butcher a hit single in your honor as well. Take some time to peruse our merch while you're still here, and check out some of the other brilliant streams on the channel. If you like songs, the Oops All Bards party that is Melody of the Maelstrom is on every other Monday. Now, all the characters are not bards, but every player is a musician of some sort, including the aforementioned artists from FX May Vary. So give that a look. If you're keen for something a little more mechanical, hop on Twitch on Tuesday nights to get some off-brand Gundam on with Project Aegis, a hard-hitting Lancer adventure. And as always, feel free to hit us up on Discord if you want to keep an ear to the ground for any future developments in other games. JT, take us home.
All right. Did we figure out who we're going to raid?
Dork Tales just went live, so I figure why not?
Let's do it. Let's send them there. So with that,